Welcome everybody to
Parkhoppers.
My name is Kyle.
And I'm Sarah.
And this is the theme park centric podcast from the Prolonged Engagement. You can find us here on YouTube on Tuesdays on youtube.com/the Prolonged Engagement Show or our website at theprolongedengagement.com.
Except for this one. This is on a Wednesday.
Yeah, this is on a Wednesday, but you get it. It's normally on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Except for today, which is a Wednesday. But normally
Are we sure it's not Tuesday
Tuesdays,
again?
It might be.
For all you Supernatural fans out there.
Tuesday again.
So, I have the notes up again.
Following off. Oh, by the way, so last Tuesday we were like, I think the iTunes might have been up. I just waited up until the last second to put in all of the feeds for the audio version of the podcast.
Yeah.
So I think like the iTunes might have been up by the time it went live. I do not think it was. But now all of them are up. Well,
Okay,
all the
good.
ones that I put it for.
Okay, good.
We're on all the same ones that I Love You I Know is on, except for Player FM
I'm
and
so
Pocket
sorry,
Cast.
guys.
So I have to add it to those two. But we're on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Overcast.
Yes.
And the links are there. I even set up our little shortened links too.
Yeah.
They're a little bit longer than the other ones, but
Yeah.
you can now get to it if you type in parkhoppers.tpe.show / and then Apple, Google, Stitcher,
Yeah.
Overcast. You'll get to those
That's awesome.
individually, and that's. I bet you no one has ever used those.
No one probably
links,
gives a flying fuck.
I think I paid like $25 for that.
No one gives a fuck.
For that domain, that tpe.show domain.
No one cares.
You know what? At some point, somebody's gonna care, and
I want
that
someone to care.
$25 will be worth my.
I really want someone to
will be
care.
worth it.
I would. No, this is probably what honest to God would happen. Like if somebody actually, like if I was at the grocery store and someone's like, "Holy fuck, you're from I Love You I Know or Parkhoppers," and they gave me a hug, I'd probably die. Like right there on the spot, just die.
Yeah, and then we could like record you with this person, just say like, "It's over. That's all I ever wanted in this world."
No.
And after today, it's gone. No more. It's done.
No, I'd probably be like, "You actually watched the show?"
So
And like ask them a question.
So this week on Park Hoppers, we're going to be continuing on our LA trip. This one is going to be for Disney's California Adventure,
which we'll be calling DCA because it's a lot shorter to say. And
you may call it DCA. I will not, because that to me is Ronald Reagan International Airport.
Oh, true.
So
I didn't even think about that.
That was our airport.
I know that was our airport for
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Was our airport. I was there every single weekend for
Yes, you
5 months.
So that you could come see me because you love me.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So.
Can you see the notes well?
So last week when we were talking about Disneyland, we were talking about how Disneyland is Disneyland California in Anaheim is set up into two parks. You have Disneyland, you have Disney's California Adventure.
Yeah.
And in the middle is like this vestibule area that you get funneled into.
Well, not only is there a vestibule area, there's Disney.
Downtown Disney's
Downtown
on
Disney. That's
one,
what.
It's kind of like Downtown Disney's on
It's
one
like a
side
box.
of it.
Because you have California Adventure, and then the
California Adventure's to the south. To the north is Disneyland. To the west is Downtown Disney. To the east is a street.
From where everyone's funneling in from.
Yeah, and it's just the street is like, I don't know, like 100 feet away. Just this main street in Anaheim.
Main Street.
God,
Doesn't matter.
It's so fucking weird when you do Disneyland versus Disney World when that comes to. There's not a main street
You can't
anywhere
get,
close to the Magic Kingdom.
you can't get near the Magic Kingdom in a vehicle, in a car.
No, you can't. You can't get anywhere
Not
near it.
anymore. It used to be. You used to be able to drive right up and park and shit. But you can't anymore. Now you have to take the trolleys. Or the monorail. Or a bus. Am I forgetting another way to get there? Boat!
Ferry
or a boat.
Ferry boat. But, so...
Theirs is completely different, though. So, basically, you can walk...
So we walked
across
in. We
and-
walked in the same way as we did when we went to Disneyland,
Yep.
but we got there a lot earlier.
Yes, we did.
For that day, which was
And we got there earlier
made the
on
line.
purpose.
I mean, the line was nearly non-existent
For-
that morning.
Yeah, it was kind of awesome.
Like nobody was there.
It was awesome.
And we got right in. We went straight to Radiator Springs.
Yep.
Wait a
And-
minute. We had to get inside the park in order to do the fast passes, right?
Yes.
So,
Like, we were not allowed to do any fast pass outside of the parks.
yeah. So they have this thing where because you can get your fast passes on your phone, but
I need to
everybody
download those pictures. Shit.
everybody in your
Party.
everybody in your party has to be inside the park when you do
and
it.
it has to be inside that park.
Has to be inside of that park and
Yeah.
and whatever. Once everybody is like in for the day,
Yeah, it did.
then you can. So
No. I was able to get fast passes in Disneyland at.
right,
Yeah.
But because the day before your father wasn't there,
Yeah.
So all
So I couldn't
four
get
of
shit.
us weren't there. That's how you were able to do it.
That's right.
So if we went to Disneyland that morning and then you wanted to get the Cars ride for later on that day, you
Yep.
could have because everybody was they knew your location at that point.
Yeah.
So
Once your ticket has passed through the turnstile.
once your ticket is passed through the turnstile, they knew that you were inside of that park.
So you're
No
good to go.
problem. Now, granted, it's not like it goes away if you leave the parks and go to get lunch somewhere else,
Yeah.
But I digress. So we all walked in, and the
Mhm.
the entrance to California Adventure
Looks a shit ton like Hollywood Adventure.
I mean,
Hollywood.
it's exactly like Hollywood Studios.
Like, I was amazed.
It didn't used to look like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought no, it didn't. That's right.
it
They
didn't.
changed it.
It didn't used to look like that, and they changed it actually fairly recently, I think.
Yeah.
Within a couple years, they changed
Yeah, it was supposed to. California Adventure was supposed to be about the majestics of California.
So they still have, it. The
But
whole
it's changing.
The whole park is still kind of based on that.
Yeah, but they're still trying to get their feet under them. I feel like with that park, it doesn't have its identity yet.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way as well. I kind of felt like
It felt
they
like a very
they
odd
had like
mixture.
they had like a good idea,
Yeah.
and then they were just kind of trying to pigeonhole things in here
Yes.
that maybe worked, maybe didn't work.
Yeah. Which I'm gonna actually talk about
Okay.
a ride we didn't get to go on.
Because it has the things like Grizzly Peak,
Yeah.
the rapids there, which looks really really cool.
Yeah.
And they have a Hollywood section,
Mhm.
and they have a San Francisco section, and
Napa Valley.
and they have like a Napa Valley looking
Oh,
section. What?
I didn't put that in there.
Okay.
Oh well, you know what I'm talking
So
about.
they have like parts of the park that are supposed to look like California.
Yeah.
But then there is just
You have like Radiator Springs,
Radiator Springs, and it's
The
a
collect-
Bugs
the
Land.
but yeah, Bugs Land, and
Mhm.
then the Collector's Tower.
Well, I mean, granted, that was in the Hollywood section
it's in
before,
the Hollywood section,
and it was the Hollywood Hotel
but
before it was Guardians.
it's still very awkward to me.
It was still even
It's
then
supposed- it's
it
awkward
was
because
off in a corner.
yeah, but not just that, but I don't know how you feel about this. Based upon the movies, the Collector's Place is out in space somewhere.
It's in nowhere.
It's in nowhere.
Hmm.
And so suddenly it's in the middle of Hollywood. But whatever. I'm being nitpicky.
Yeah. You are.
Maybe if we had stood in line, I would actually know why it's there, but
I wasn't standing in line for that.
no.
Don't care. I had a fast pass.
I know.
I wasn't standing in line.
I kind of want to stand in line.
It was a long line, too.
I know. I kind of want to stand in line just to see the animatronic parts of it, and
we saw bits and pieces of it,
Yeah.
and we got to see the rocket animatronics. So that's all
Yeah.
I cared about.
Yeah.
So,
but we're gonna talk about that later. So we got there stupid early.
almost when the park opened.
Yeah. And as everyone is running in, I grab a Radiator Springs Racers Fast Pass.
Yeah.
First thing we do.
We had it at like 9:20 or something like that.
Pretty good time. So we run back there, and this is in the back ass part of the park too.
I mean, yeah, it's way back there because
way back there.
When you walk into, they have like this big sign that says Radiator Springs, and it points to the left, and right underneath the sign for Radiator Springs is a Cars version of Woody and Buzz.
Yeah.
And they're like they're big. They're pretty big.
They're like the size of a bug, I would say.
Yeah. They're not as big as the other Cars characters.
No, they're not.
Within the park, they're kind of like toy versions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get it?
Yeah.
Knee slapper. So they have those, and they have a little, photo spot there.
Photo op for that.
But you turn and you look down their Route 66,
and
it is probably the most incredible thing I have ever seen at a theme park. It is
right up there to Pandora.
I mean, I think that this is better than Pandora.
Yeah, because I have more connection to Cars than I do to Pandora.
Not just that. I thought that this was better done than Pandora. I think that, seeing the floating mountains is, yeah, it's neat and it's breathtaking, but this was on a whole nother level.
Yeah, because it was incredible to see it come to life.
For me,
it had such
on pure
childlike awe.
And the way that they pushed those mountains out into the distance, and
the way
it was
that
like
looks.
this forced perspective they had going on. I mean, it looked 1,000% bigger.
Oh yeah.
Than what it was, which I think is even the forced perspective that they gave in that. I think turned out better than what they did in Pandora.
Yeah, I think it was I don't want to say that it was easier, but I think it might have been a little bit easier to do. I guess I don't want to use that word, but because those floating rocks, those are 3D objects, and unfortunately, with that, you're gonna see ways that they built that, like support structures.
Okay.
With Cars, you don't. It completely immerses you. The rocks or the side of the canyon.
I feel like it's more immersive.
Yeah.
And
it was so pretty.
And it was so breathtaking that we just had to sit in the middle of Radiator Springs and do a little spin around, and that's what you see in the
opening.
In the intro to the show.
Opening sequence.
So
but
they had everything. They had the cozy cone.
Yeah.
They had Mater's. They had
a Mater ride.
Yeah,
they had a Luigi's ride.
Mm-hmm. The Luigi ride was pretty cute.
It is cute. I thought Mater's ride was pretty cute too.
Going on it. I wasn't going on that either. So
I know they're both kiddie rides.
So I was just kind of like
cute.
They were cute, but I was like, I don't need to. But you walk in, and then on the right you see Fillmore's his eco fuel and whatever, and it's like
it's actually like a veggie stop with apples and oranges and
it's got like apples, oranges, it's got like fruit juices and stuff like that.
I was like, I'm just gonna go buy something from there just because. It was so cool.
And then there's Sarge's place. It's right next to that, which is, a little...
It's a store.
It's a store. And then, to the left, you have the cozy cone, and they actually have these big, gigantic cones that are sitting there. And that is actually like their snack area.
Yes.
And there's actually these, there's this
all
mac
the food,
and cheese
all
cone.
the food was cone themed.
Yeah. So there was there's this thing that Sarah told me about, this mac and cheese cone. And
yeah,
so
I actually saw it, but because a friend had gone over there for work, and she posted it on her Facebook, and she was like, "This is the best shit ever. Get it."
It was mac and cheese in this sourdough cone, and it was a bacon mac and cheese. The mac and cheese itself, awesome. The sourdough cone, awesome. Yeah. Together, it was fucking fantastic. But I got that actually after we rode the races for 2 times.
Yes, we did.
And then
and I was happy with the races.
So right there's the cozy cone, and then right next to that is that old,
shop.
like Route 66 shop that the Lizzie, Lizzie,
the kitschy shop.
Yeah. And then you have right across the street is the V8 Cafe.
Yeah.
And it looks, everything looks exactly like the damn movie.
Down to the detail.
Just incredible looking. Incredible. And
I was having such a nerd out because it was like walking into something from my childhood.
And the V8 Cafe was an actual cafe where you can eat at.
Yeah.
Right next to that was Ramon's shop, which was a gift shop. And so they had a lot of cool things in there. Yeah. And then Luigi, the Casa de la Tires.
Was actually a restaurant.
Was not a restaurant.
Yes, it was.
The ride.
No, it wasn't. I ended up going over there and looking. So I found the entrance to the ride. It was a different place.
The entrance to the ride is inside the building.
They served Italian food in there, though, too.
Okay, but the ride is inside the building.
But I saw the ride on the...
There was a guy, when it was closed, there was a guy standing outside of it saying, "Oh no, it's closed."
Okay.
So it was there.
Then why did they serve Italian food? I saw people getting Italian food there.
I'm telling you, that was the entrance to the ride.
Then why were people getting Italian food?
The first thing that we did was we just walked right in there, did a little spin, and went straight to the racers.
Yeah.
Because that was we had heard 1,000 good things about the Radiator Springs Racers, and I'm telling you, they did not disappoint.
Not at all.
It was a 20-minute wait when we got in.
Yep.
And as we were standing in line, they were saying,
if you're in standby, we're sorry, but your wait has gone up to, I think, 35 minutes.
So we got in at 20.
Yep.
And I think we waited probably 30 to 35 minutes to get on there.
But by the time we were at the place to get in...
Yeah, so we get in, we're stopped, and then we wait a few minutes, and they say, "Oh, you're right. Your wait's been increased to 35 minutes." And we're like, "Okay." And then they said 45 minutes, and then they said 55 minutes, and then they said 65 minutes, and then they said 75 minutes, and I was like, "Fuck!" So it was.
And we had to calm ourselves down because we were afraid.
By the end of that, I think they had gotten up to 75 or 80 minutes.
Yeah.
That the wait had gone up to.
Which I think it's. I think they poorly load those cars. But that's a person thing.
Well, I figured out that the reason that the standby line was so long was because they give too many fast passes for that ride.
Yeah, they do.
So they
load.
So they funnel all of the fast pass people in there, and then literally make the standby people just sit there and wait.
Basically,
because it said, "Oh, your wait is up to 65 minutes or whatever by the end," and the actual standby line was shorter than when we got into it.
Yeah.
So that really long wait is just
fast passes.
It's just they are sticking you there instead of letting you go, and they're just letting all the fast pass people go, which I think is pretty shitty.
It's a failure of loading and a failure of the fast pass system.
So the car itself is, if you've been on Test Track,
it's the Test Track car painted.
Yeah, if you've been on Test Track here in at Epcot, then it's the exact same car. It's the exact same
Yeah.
type of ride.
Well, I'm thinking about something because I feel like the cars were like there were 3 sets of them, and there was one like muscle car, or it looked like a muscle car. The next one was the sporty blue car, like what we had, and then there was another one that was
They
smaller.
all looked the same to me.
No, they all look different.
You're crazy.
I ain't crazy.
You're crazy.
I ain't crazy.
They were all the same.
They were not all the same.
But they were all different colors.
Yes,
And
I was
their
upset.
little eyebrow thing was different.
The face was different.
Mm-hmm. The faces were different.
Yeah.
But none of them looked like a sports car.
I thought so.
No.
I will look back at it and see.
But you start off, we're going to spoil this whole damn ride because it was just
so
too
cool.
amazing not to talk about. So,
and I ended up catching one of the animatronic
you
thingies.
go in, you start off and it just kind of moseys you through the canyon or whatever.
Car ride through the
and
canyon.
it's got this nice peaceful calming music that you would hear like in Cars 1 when lightning was just going up the mountains and whatnot, and you see waterfalls and all this crap, and
they have a water blast at you, a light mist at you, so that you feel the
waterfall coming
more.
at you. And then you go into a cave where it gets dark, and then you're going around in curves and whatnot, and you see Mater in there.
Well, Mac first.
You
almost
Mac
run into
first.
Mac.
You almost run into Mac, and then you almost run into that couple that
that's
gets
right.
lost.
I totally
the couple
forgot.
from Cars 1 that's like fighting over their directions. And
I told you to look at the map.
Yeah, and then you see what was the cop car's name? I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't know the cop car's name.
Doc.
No, Doc is Doc Hudson.
That's
not the cop car. God, what is wrong with you? First you're all like, so there was like all these different cars. One was a muscle car.
I promise you, I'm right about that.
And then you were like, oh no,
up.
the cop car's name is Doc. It's the same as the other Doc because that makes sense.
In Cars.
The cop car in Cars is not Doc. It's named what? They just call him Sheriff.
No, it's not. Give me a moment.
His name is Sheriff. It says it right there.
Sheriff.
His name is Sheriff. What is wrong with you? Doc. What is wrong?
His name was Doc.
See Sheriff and he's all like, oh, don't go too fast.
No. I was confusing him with Doc Hudson.
That's what I just said! So then you see Mater, and there's and then you drive through Radiator Springs again, but
you missed
on the ride. You do tractor flipping.
Yeah, you tractor flip with Mater.
And so you go through Radiator Springs, and then this sets you up to go on a race. So here you can either put you through Casa de la Tires and you get new tires, or they put you through Ramon's shop and you get spray paint. They get you painted, and then because that forks you off, then you go on head to head with another car.
Yep.
And so then the whole rest of the ride is fast.
Yeah.
And you're doing a race around, and you do the they take you over a hill and around a corner, and it's way cool.
So
that ride is not only is it better than Test Track, but just the feeling that you get in that thing is absolutely spectacular.
Yes. So I was gonna say though, so you know how with some rides you can kind of figure out, oh, this one's gonna win or this one's gonna fail, whatever. No. So it's a 50% chance on which side you go to, and it's a 50% chance for if you win or lose.
Mm-hmm.
It changes every time.
Yeah. So that's the cool part.
Yeah, I thought that was very cool.
But we got off that ride, we turned right back around, went into the Fast Pass ride, rode it again.
Yep.
And actually, the first time we actually went through Casa de la Tires.
Tires, and
we did Luigi's time part. And then the second time that we got on it, we went through Ramon's. So we actually got both of them.
Yeah.
And so the first time we won, the second time we lost.
Yeah.
So, we got to see both sides of the ride all in one trip, which was fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So
I liked Luigi's more.
Really, really cool with that. Once we did that, we got a fast pass for Guardians, right? Yes.
But it was a little bit of a way.
Yeah. It was like at 11 or something like that. And we were out of the ride by 9:30, 9:40 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So we kind of walked around. We saw like this thing for Pixar Pier.
Yep.
Like what it was going to eventually look like.
We saw a little bit of that construction too.
Mm-hmm. Because they're still working on it. Now,
it opens next month.
Midway Mania is open, even though it's on the pier. But they're just doing a bunch of work around it, I guess.
And on it.
So, because I think they're adding a whole new part of Midway Mania, right?
Adding a new track.
Yeah. Midway Mania,
like they will probably do to ours.
Yeah, like they're doing to ours.
Because their lines are too fucking long.
Midway Mania in Disney's California Adventure, exactly the same as Toy Story Mania here in Hollywood Studios.
Yep. We walked through.
So we didn't ride it.
No. We were gonna walk through. We walked through Bugs Land, and we were going to ride. It's Tough to Be a Bug, although exactly like here at Animal Kingdom. But it was down for refurbishment.
Mm-hmm. So we didn't do that.
Because it's my dad's favorite ride, honestly. And then
I hate It's Tough to Be a Bug.
I don't like the
I hate every second of it.
Oh, I don't like it.
And then they make the roaches come out below you. It's like the worst. It's the absolute worst.
I just stand up at that point. I'm not dealing with it.
I get up. I also when the
I've been yelled at now for.
So the stingers, and they're like, "Arm your stingers," and then they poke you in the back. I just sit forward.
Nope, I move.
I fucking hate that. I hate every bit of that fucking show.
No, I can't do it. I don't like buggies. Buggies scare me. No.
I hate every bit of it. It's awful.
And then, so we decided to do a trolley tour.
Yeah, because we had gotten to Guardians, and it wasn't time yet, and they had one of the trolleys that was there, so we said, fuck it, let's go ride.
Yeah, and it was cool. We got to ride around, and then we went back, and my mom didn't ride.
So, like, we rode the trolley all the way to the front of the park, and then like, pretty much all the way back. It said, "Oh, well, we'll be stopping here for 8 minutes, while the other one stays." So we just
we gotta
over
move
there, so we'll just go.
So we walked back. I got a picture with Gamora.
Yes, you did.
I wanted a picture with Star-Lord, but he had to leave.
He said, "No, we're going."
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Save the galaxy.
Save the galaxy. Except he
didn't
save it.
Don't
get into that.
We might do that on the next I Love You. I know because
Infinity War. I gotta see it again.
I have feelings. I have too many feelings. And then we rode Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which is
fucking incredible.
Yeah, it is their
Tower of
Terror. Because they had the Tower of Terror, the old one.
The old one? What does that mean?
So when we first got ours, there was no randomized jumping or falling and going up.
Who had Tower of Terror first?
We did.
So why did they get an old one?
So the very first one that we had, where it wasn't randomized and it wasn't, and nothing was different, that was what they got. And they never changed it. So all the falls, all the going up, everything was the same every ride.
Yeah, well, it works for that one because they made it to where they open it and now you see the Guardians doing shit.
Well, now they changed it so that there are 6 different rides.
Okay.
So each song is associated with a different ride.
Oh, okay. So that it has different songs then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically we went for the Fast Pass, got into the first room, which is the office in the Tower of Terror, and instead of the
Yeah, so you walk. So if you've been on Tower of Terror, either at California Adventure or here in Hollywood Studios, you walk in and it's in the lobby.
Mhm.
Well, so they have just they took the bones of it and they just rethemed it completely.
Yeah.
And when I say rethemed it completely, I mean like impeccably rethemed this shit. And so the lobby is got little cases for the collector's items and whatnot. And then there was even, you remember the painting I showed you?
Yeah.
That had
with
the collector and the master right next to each other, and they were like playing cards or something.
We flipped out.
I thought that was hilarious.
That was incredible.
Well, because
and then they actually had like props from the movies.
The ride opened before Thor Ragnarok came out.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was kind of funny that was in there.
If you didn't know it, you could have passed right by it and been like, "Oh, who's that character? I don't know."
I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah. And so you go into, they push you into this other room.
Yeah.
That was,
the office.
it was the office where they go, welcome to the Twilight Zone. And so in there, you view this video, and then there's an animatronic rocket that pops up.
And he's incredible.
I mean, just like, really, really cool.
He is so fucking cool.
He moves around. He like picks up things. He takes it. Oh, it's so cool.
And
he's like, of course I escaped, and you're gonna help me get my friends out.
So the whole basis for the ride is the reason he needs you is for your hands. You put your hands up, and it reads your hands.
Yeah, and then
which I thought was a fucking genius way for you to put your hands up.
Yeah.
For the drops.
It was good stuff.
I got you, because I'm skipping ahead. Go ahead.
So then, you go through there, and he's like, "Okay, we're gonna break out because the Guardians have been captured by the Collector, and they've been put on display. And so you are there to actually see the Guardians, but then of course Rocket takes over and whatnot. And so when you get onto the ride, it moves you back. It moves you back
just a little bit,
and then he plugs in Quill's cassette player, his Walkman. Song starts, and then you're immediately on the ride.
Yeah,
you just immediately start shooting up, shooting down. They open up the doors. You see the Guardians doing some shit.
Yeah, which I really liked because on our ride it was free ride. The song was free ride.
Yes,
and so he goes, "All right, everyone, let's get this party started. Put your hands up." And so you see everyone in the car put their hands up like every other time, and all of a sudden we're shot up.
Oh, it was so good. And so I was totally not expecting it because it shot us up, and then it shoots up, and then of course it stops, and now I'm flying out of my seat, and I'm like, holy shit! And then
and your hands are in the air. You're not holding on.
So it was it did. It did a fucking good job at just like not, because it was different, because in Tower of Terror here, it lifts you up, it shows you some shit, then your whole car moves out and you see these weird things, right? And then it puts you on the drop part.
Yeah.
So I was expecting that sort of thing to go up, and then but immediately I'm on the ride and it's fucking killing me. And at the very, very top, it takes you all the way to the top, opens up the doors and says, "Hey, isn't that Disneyland?" And then closes it and drops you. That was fucking funny.
Yeah.
So
like the whole ride has great music, like the movies. It was so much fun.
Yeah. So right after that, we fucking went to lunch, right?
Yeah, we did.
That was the next thing.
Yep.
We went to Carthay Circle.
Yeah, which is one of the only sit-down I think it is the only sit-down restaurant.
It's the only one in
California Adventure.
Yeah.
Carthay Circle is actually based on the theater that Walt Disney
Snow White premiered
Snow White at.
Yeah. So that was really cool. Yeah. And the drinks there were divine. Really good.
And the food was also
the
really
food
good.
Was really good. I had a burger. What'd you have?
Steak.
That's right. You had a steak. And I mean,
everyone else had steak. You were the only one with burger.
The burger was good. The fries were good. It was all good. The drinks were killing it. all good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah.
And then
while we were at
lunch, we got a fast pass for
Space Mountain and Big Thunder. I got them both.
You did?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because I fucked up because the system fucked up somehow, and I got them both at the same time. I was like, yes.
Okay, I didn't remember that. But...
Again, drinks were flowing.
The drinks were flowing, and so after lunch we did that animation thing.
Yeah, they have this cute little place with animation in there. You can go see Anna and Elsa. You can go take a class and learn how to draw. A whole bunch of different things that you can do in there. We kind of just stood in there and watched the creation of a lot of old movies that we love.
Because they've got a bunch of just screens surrounding you, and these screens are ginormous.
Yeah.
And
then
it just
Up
shows.
was one of them.
It just shows. Yeah, it showed Up. It shows.
And I cried.
I mean, it showed Tarzan. Showed all sorts of these movies. These older
they showed
animated
Up and
films.
I cried.
Oh my god, Up is so sad.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I cry.
I haven't seen
every
Up
time.
in
a long time.
I mean, I probably haven't seen it since 2010.
Uh-huh.
I mean, 2000.
You want to go watch it?
Yeah, 09 or 10 or something like that.
Want to go watch it?
Something. No, I don't want to watch it. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna see Black Panther. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna watch Black Panther.
So after that, we went back to Disneyland.
Yeah. So because I mean, by the time after we saw that, we were like, "Well, we done Cars. We did Guardians. There's not really much else to do here.
Nothing much there.
I mean, the only things that we missed were, Midway Mania. We missed Grizzly Peak, but we weren't going to ride the water ride.
Yeah. The one that we missed that I kind of wanted to do was the Monsters Inc. ride.
Oh, yeah, but it was
went
closed.
down.
Yeah, it went down.
So the reason I wanted to talk about this ride in specific was because I know I'm doing it again. Was because it replaced a ride that was there on opening day called it was Superstar Limousine, which has been known to be the worst ride ever created.
And why is this?
It was created after it was supposed to be a very fast ride where kind of like what is ours here? With
Rock and Roller Coaster?
Yes. Kind of like that, apparently. Where and the whole premise was that you were a superstar running away from the paparazzi.
Okay.
But when it originally was created, during the time of its creation, Princess Diana was killed.
Are you on crack?
No, I am not. That is honest to God. When they were thinking up this ride, I'm not kidding.
What, it took them 20 years to figure it out?
Yes. That's why it ended up changing. Or no. Maybe it was another celebrity that died. But it was a celebrity that died running away from the paparazzi.
She wasn't running away from the paparazzi. She was killed by a drunk driver.
No, somebody...
What are you thinking about?
Who was the celebrity that died running away from the paparazzi?
I don't know. Just look up the damn limo ride. And see what the hell you're even talking about. So this was it. Okay. What was so awful about it?
So, what begins the awfulness is the puppets of various superstars.
Okay, like there's Joan Rivers, okay.
And so this was supposed to be a fast ride.
Ain't no damn fast ride.
Supposed to be. And then...
That's a bunch of shit. That's...
So, Swifty LaRue
right,
is your agent, whatever.
Yeah, no one cares. But why'd they close it? There's Regis Philbin? Really? Fucking Kathy Lee?
So, the reason they closed it was they thought it was insensitive.
To who?
to not only the celebrities who
Oh my God, there's Cher. Oh no, you can't. I can't do this any longer.
all of these were used not
Whoopi Goldberg.
they
they look awful.
They never asked anyone.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't. That was part of the issue of this ride. But there was a couple of other issues with it. Besides that, so they just changed it by putting on a Monsters Inc.
Whatever. Don't care.
But it's supposed to be one of the worst rides ever.
Well, I can see why that would be one of the worst rides ever because it looks awful, but
I can't remember.
I do not think that's because anybody died.
It is because somebody died.
Everybody I just saw in there is still alive.
No, not any of the actual. Not because of any of the. See, right here.
What?
Superstar Limo was criticized amongst internet writers as lacking pouring content and limited in having a motivating story, spurred by rumors of the elimination during its development phase of a more exciting paparazzi chase storyline, which was deemed inappropriate after the death of Princess Diana.
Okay, it says spurred by rumors of the elimination during its development phase of a more exciting.
Which is what I said
Spurred
to you.
by rumors of the elimination during its development phase of a more exciting paparazzi chase scene. You're also getting that from Wiki-fucking-pedia.
I actually got that from Yesterworld.
Yesterland?
No, Yesterworld. It's a YouTube channel.
Okay,
that
whatever.
Does theme park bad rides.
Well, you know what? We do theme park good rides.
Mm-hmm.
Like our next ride.
Which was Space Mountain. We ended up going back over to Disneyland because we'd missed 3 rides.
Yeah, well, there was still stuff that we wanted to do, and
there's still stuff we want to do that we didn't do.
And there was also, it was just we had spent the whole day in California Adventure, and we liked Cars Land.
Yeah.
And we liked Guardians, but the whole park as a whole, I thought was kind of lacking a little bit.
Yes. It's lacking in structure, lacking in
just
stuff.
It's
a half-day park.
After going through Disneyland and seeing everything that was, everything that embodied, it just felt so lacking compared to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I know I can. Cars Land was so good.
And the rest of it was just kind of.
And the rest of it was just like, eh.
Carsway Circle's fucking awesome, but
yeah, the restaurant was good, but way fucking better than that Blue Bayou place that we ate the day before.
Way better in food.
Way better. No,
theming?
Way better. No, you can't beat that one in theming.
Thank you.
But as far as food go and food and drink,
Thank you.
Way better. Because Blue Bayou didn't even have drinks. That's
because
ridiculous.
Disneyland is dry.
And that's fucking stupid. Oh, but
World just got it.
BT Dubs.
Yeah.
BT Dubs.
Yeah.
There are all of these sit-down restaurants in the Magic Kingdom now.
Yeah.
All of them serve alcohol now.
Now?
Yeah.
They didn't used
to. As of today.
Today.
As of today.
May 15th of 2018.
Yep. As of today.
Fuck.
There were only 3 that were left. So the Crystal Palace now
just
serves
got
alcohol.
I bet it's just beer and wine, though.
It's probably just beer and wine, yes.
I'm so sorry. So
we went to go ride Space Mountain, and that...
totally different. Storyline's different. Everything's different.
Yeah. Pretty much.
The only parts that's similar
it's
is
a 2-seater car. Itself. It's not so it's still 3 rows, but it's 2 per row.
Yeah.
And it's something.
Yeah. It's darker than ours,
I thought it was darker and faster.
Yes.
Than the one at home. Which I really enjoyed. Which I really enjoyed.
Yep. And then then we rode the monorail because the monorail there is more of a ride than a transportation system.
It technically is a transportation system, but not really. It's a ride.
It's a ride. And it shows you a lot of stuff.
It has there's one stop in Tomorrowland, and then the other stop is in downtown Disney. So if you were staying at the Disneyland hotel,
or no, not the Great California, because that one goes right into the park.
Yeah, if you were staying at the Disneyland hotel, then you could actually hop on the monorail and be dropped right into Tomorrowland, which would be neat. So. But the monorail was kind of cute, and the windows were open. I thought that was pretty funny. The windows were open in it, and the inside was different, and the outside was different.
Yeah,
and they only had 2 monorails running throughout the whole park.
Yep.
So
I think that's all the park could sustain.
Yeah, no, they can't. They couldn't do any more than that. Oh my god, no, because there's just not that much room.
No, the final ride we went on was Big Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Which again, it was different.
It was, but
it had a lot of similarities.
There's slight variations on hours that I actually like a little bit better.
Yeah.
Such as during the TNT where you get like an earthquake type deal.
Yeah.
You know how the track sways.
Yeah.
Like that, and I kind of like that sort of effect better.
Because it's a little bit more immersive.
Yeah, as far as the ride itself, pretty much the same as far as, twists and turns.
Except for we don't have as many animals.
Yeah, and the idea, I thought, behind the Disney World one was way cool. Behind the Disneyland one was a lot cooler than ours, I thought. Because the backstory of it was the spirits, Native American spirits that were...
Do you remember what I told you?
Just fucking say it then. Don't say that. Do you remember what I told you?
Do you? Because I'm the one that told you it.
Oh, I do remember. Just fucking say it.
So, miners came in and started mining the mountain.
Sure. Fucking up that mountain.
And so the Native Americans were like, dude, you need to stop your shit because you're gonna, piss off the spirits. And they go, fuck you, Native Americans. We ain't listen to you. And so they fucked off the spirits, and the spirits took over the trains.
Spirits took over the trains
away
and
all the miners.
Yep. And so you're riding in runaway mine trains that have been taken over by
Native American spirits,
which is a way cooler idea than ours.
Yeah. What is ours?
I don't know, but it's not that. I promise you, it's not that.
I don't think it's that either. But yeah, that after that we were all exhausted because we were still jet lagged, and we decided to go and call it a night.
Because that night was late, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just fucked right off to bed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't do anything after that. No, we ate dinner. Where did we eat dinner? Where did we eat?
La Trattoria?
No, that was the first night. No.
No.
Oh, this was the second one.
Yes, baby.
I thought, I'm confused.
Because we went to the outlet store after that.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting this one confused with, I'm getting this one confused with our Californication episode 55 of the...
Yes, you are.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to El Torteria, that's right.
Yeah, and it was delicious.
Yeah. It was really good. We went to the outlet mall, right?
Yeah.
And did that stuff.
The outlet mall was scary.
Because it wasn't really that late.
The outlet mall was very scary.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I'm so used to our outlet malls.
We were there really late, though. We were there at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I wasn't
So
too
we ate dinner late.
Plus, everywhere in California, there's fucking weed. Everywhere. You smell it everywhere.
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 I just
the only times that I didn't smell weed was when I was inside of a theme park. Literally everywhere else. Fucking weed crazy.
I smelled it at Universal.
Okay, well, Universal, you would smell it. But you wouldn't smell it at the happiest place in the world.
No. It's too pure and innocent.
Too pure and innocent. All right, guys. Well, next week on Tuesday, we'll be talking about our third and final
Park
that we went to in
West
LA.
Coast?
That was Universal Studios Hollywood. So we did the VIP tour,
and it was fucking amazing.
at Hollywood at Universal Studios Hollywood, and the VIP tour is the way to go. So if you want to hear all about that, stay tuned next week on Tuesday for the next episode of Park Hoppers.
Yep.
I gotta figure out like an outro to this. No one's gotten this far, right?
Probably not.
Okay, I can just end it.
I think so.
Okay, we'll see you later.
Love you. Bye bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. And if you want to subscribe, you should click over here. If you want to watch the latest episode of I Love You, I Know, click right here.
If you want to see our latest video, click right here. And if you want to see our latest Let's Play, click right here.
If you're listening on MP3,